Views expressed by Casters Guild members are only the opinions of that member, and that could change from day to day. Guild members may use mature language, but that in no way means they are mature. Listener discretion is advised.
The WGA strike is still going strong. The Turtles are finally teenage again, and we can't wait to play Zelda Powered by the Apocalypse. And that's the spell we're casting tonight on Casters Guild. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Casters Guild. I am your Guild Master Ric, the Pinball Wizard Perry.
And I'm your Guild Master Baron, the Last Starfighter Kane.
And I went to Ren Fair this weekend.
No, you didn't.
I did, and I got horns at the Ren Fair.
Okay.
Just thought it was
like horny horns?
Yeah.
Nice.
Make me.
So which Ren Fair was this?
Tennessee.
Gotcha.
Which, I don't know. It left a lot to be desired because the Tennessee Ren Fair has been taken over by the state.
What?
Yeah. And the state has decided to make it more family friendly. They took away all the alcohol, and they are slowly weeding out any shows that could be considered like R-rated.
Man, Tennessee, all about the fun, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
God damn. See, everybody wants to talk shit about Ohio, which, you know, by all means. But I mean, really, when we have Tennessee and Florida,
mm-hmm.
I don't. No, but Ohio's the bad place. Yeah,
I think it's one of those things where they expect it out of Tennessee and Florida, and they look at Ohio and they're like, "Really, you two?"
All right. I guess that makes sense.
Like, you're above the Mason-Dixon. Come on, get it together.
That's right. Get your shit together, Ohio. You know how I would like to watch a lot of theory videos and stuff like that, which, by the way, I've made a vow to myself.
Mm-hmm.
All those theory videos that also do leaks, like they leak stuff like, hey, we heard this and blah. I'm not following them anymore.
Oh, okay.
I do not want to promote leak culture.
Okay.
I just don't. Because, I mean, I am more than happy to go into a movie completely blind. And a lot of these people who are going in and getting these leaks are kind of ruining it for the rest of us. Not just by telling us spoilers, but by making things to the point to where, you know, they have to lock down sets and they have to keep scripts secret, which, you know, I've seen to where actors get their script. They don't get anybody else's lines. So, like, when they go into this, they're going in just knowing their own lines, which I can only imagine how frustrating that is.
I heard an interview with John Mulaney where he didn't even know he was going to be playing Spider-Ham until he got to set. They were just like, it's a Marvel movie. Are you in? And he was like, yeah, I guess I'm in. And then he got to set and they were like, you're playing a pig who tells outdated jokes from old cartoons. And he was like, you have no idea how up my alley that is. And
right. Well, that's fair. That's fair.
Or even worse, you have the movies where, like, the leaks come out and then they rewrite an ending. And it's
literally
worse.
what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Where they don't want to look like, oh no, or even worse. And actually, this is going against, because I like theory videos. I'll keep supporting them, but even worse than that is when, like, directors and writers see the theories that people are coming up with and on purpose write around it. Because they don't want them to be right.
That I blame on the studios, like the writers and the directors.
Oh, no, yeah, 100%.
But
100%.
I can get where you're coming from when it comes to the leaks, blaming that on the leakers.
Right. Well, I mean, that's why I'm not just dropping theory videos and stuff like that.
Right.
But yeah.
If theory culture didn't exist, nerd and geek culture wouldn't exist.
Right. Exactly. We can live without leak culture.
Yes.
Man, I have no clue where this was taking me.
Welcome to Casters Guild.
Yep. Huh.
No,
I'll be darned.
It's fun to theorize. I think I agree I never really thought about it, but I always just kind of didn't listen to leaks anyway.
I did because it didn't bother me, because I kind of liked hearing about that stuff. Then I realized the damage that it was doing, and it was just like, oh, you know what? Never mind. Fuck this. I can't contribute to this.
Yeah, I don't necessarily care about being spoiled, but with the leak culture and how the way the leaks work, I took every leak that I ever heard with a grain of salt anyway, because I was like,
which you should.
What's the chance of that leak being correct? Which, if you follow the right sources, it gets closer and closer to being correct 100% of the time. But I just never followed it to begin with to find out if they were right 100% of the time. So, but yeah, I unintentionally agree.
But I mean, yeah, 100%. There are leakers out there that are 90% correct every time they release something. And, I would name their names, but I don't want to, again, promote that.
You don't want to boost their...
Yeah. But it's funny because, like, one or two people 90% of the time are correct, but 90% of the people who do leaks are completely wrong.
That's true. That's true.
Yep. So, and I think that's why I liked listening to leaks, because it's just like, I'm hearing so many of these, which ones are real anyways?
Yeah.
Which ones are real anyways? Then it kind of makes you wonder how many of these are just theories that someone's like, oh, this is a leak. Oh yeah, I heard from a source.
I heard from a source. It's my buddy Bob, who's usually pretty right about these things. He's really got it nailed down.
Oh, buddy Bob. I heard he has a Twitter. I think actually where I was going with this before, which was kind of related, I guess. Oh yeah, this is exactly where I was going. I remember now. So like I watch these new rock stars and stuff like that, and I can't imagine they're very happy with the way things are, considering their whole shtick, like ours, is geek culture.
Right.
Now, we're geek culture. They're movies and TV shows.
Right.
So, yeah, with that strike going on, I can't imagine they can be very happy right now.
Yeah.
But as far as I know, they're all 100% supporting it, which they should.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because they're writers, too.
And we haven't seen the stop of new stuff coming out because of the strike just yet. I think there's still plenty of things already written.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. But, like you were saying before about Deadpool.
Yeah, that's true. Before the podcast, I brought up the fact that Ryan Reynolds will not be allowed to improvise on the new Deadpool movie because Ryan Reynolds is currently credited as a writer for Deadpool. And with some of the agreements that have been made with the WGA strike, no writers are allowed to contribute to or change the script of any movie or show right now. So if Ryan Reynolds, a writer, changes the script by improvising during filming,
he's a scab.
He's breaking the law. Breaking the agreements.
Yeah.
Which are legal agreements.
I know what you meant.
Yeah.
The agreements made to the WGA.
Correct.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's hilarious.
Right.
Because again, like what you were saying, Ryan Reynolds is improvising 90% of his lines in Deadpool.
Yeah.
So
I'm willing to bet the first draft of that script had Ryan says something funny just written for a large amount of that script.
Draft.
Yeah.
I think the final draft says that. I'm pretty sure that final draft of the script is done. Done.
Please let them make a joke about that in the movie.
Right.
Let them get to a point and Deadpool just goes, Ryan says something funny here. And just goes, what the shit? And pulls a copy of the script out behind himself and just goes, no, that's what it says.
That's exactly what it said in the script, so I had to say it. Which will have to be added after the strike, because if they did it before
it's still improvising, it's still changing the script. Oh man.
That said, another Marvel property that I saw being directly affected by the strike was Wonder Man. They are officially filming Wonder Man.
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny too. I was watching, it was a video that just popped up. I've been kind of covering the strike as much as possible. And it was a video on Hassan's YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And he was going to speak to Adam Conover, who was at one studio, and they heard that there was a Marvel shoot down the street. So they were like, you want to go and bust it up? And he was like, yeah, let's go. So they drive down there, and everybody is like already there, just walking in front, chanting, stuff like that. It's like, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of weird rules when it comes to that stuff too.
Oh yeah.
Like they were allowed to come out because like they were chanting and stuff, which the whole point of chanting is to slow up production and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But they came out and told them, say, hey, you guys can be here, but no more chanting. And I guess they had to do it. I guess. But yeah, then security guards started getting involved, and they're like, you can't stand here. And it was like, we weren't standing here. We're walking across. We are not stopping. So yeah, I believe also that they got some poor Amazon Prime driver in trouble.
Oh yeah.
Because he was driving by the production studio and he was honking his support. And they said, oh, yep, that's an Amazon Prime guy, showing his support. And it's like, you guys can't do that because they will be able to figure out who that motherfucker was and fire his ass.
They will be like, okay, this is the time, this is the street, this is the route, this is the driver.
Yep.
Yeah.
Amazon Prime has the technology. They can do that.
You gotta be careful who you're inadvertently snitching on.
Right, yeah. Support the people who are supporting you, I guess?
Yeah.
So, I'd like to think that driver still has his job.
Yeah.
We'll just go ahead and pretend that he does.
It would be a difficult termination to justify.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I would absolutely be able to argue it. Oh, that someone stepped in front of the truck.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, no, they could check cameras.
But either way.
You just checked that camera and you saw me honking and waving and smiling at the people on the side of the road. Huh. Awkward for me. Wait, no, I saw my friend Tony. Out there.
Yeah, I was.
Oh, Tony, we go way back. Way back.
All the way back to the beginning of the strike when I was on the first. Hey, wait a minute.
Oh man. So yeah, that's. I think honestly, right now, that's the biggest. I mean, obviously, it's the biggest news in movie and television right now. Is still the strike. I don't think the Actors Guild have joined in yet, but they were threatening there for a bit.
And there are definitely actors who are supporting, whether or not the guild
100%.
is a part of
100%.
it yet. Yeah. Let's hope that actors really support by refusing to be in anything that's generated by AI once they run out of stuff that's
right. Yeah, that would be horrible.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they do have a lot of celebrity support. Jay Leno came out and brought a box of donuts to the whole group of strikers that were out there.
It's better than nothing.
Sure. I mean, I'll say this. I'm sure he brought more than just a box of donuts, but he came out physically with a box of donuts.
Right. Hope you guys are hungry.
Yeah, right. Dig in. Let me start cutting them up for you. Yeah, no. It looks like the Screen Actors Guild has not joined in as of yet.
Is there anything that screams, I'm trying to feed a large amount of people for as cheaply as possible, than a box full of donuts cut in half?
Oh no, I want to do that now. No, obviously I'll have some backups in the car, but just come with a box and have them all cut in half.
I say this because I've seen it, and more than once.
Shut up. You have got to stop. That is, you are telling lies on the podcast. I
promise you, I've seen it, and more than once.
I am not okay with that. No, sir. No, sir.
And they always try to present it as, oh, you can have a full donut if you want. We just have them cut in half for the people who don't want a full donut. That way they don't have to, like, you know, rip it apart with their fingers and touch other people's donut. And it's like, they could just take the donut and eat half of it. Like, it's...
Good Lord. Look, and you know what? Anybody out there that's listening right now that thinks that we're ragging on you because you've done something like this, you're 100% right.
Yes.
You're 100% right.
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah. Donuts are not expensive.
Actually, I just got some news.
Okay.
There was a video released May 30th. Members of SAG, including Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Gene Smart, and Kumail Nanjiani, were in it, and they were trying they're supporting the vote to authorize a strike.
Awesome.
Looks like strike authorization votes are due by June 5th, so we'll know by June 7th if they're going to strike. That's exciting. So actually, wait, shoot, yeah, no, I was right. Okay, so yeah. We'll be doing next week's podcast when that news hits.
Okay. We'll have to keep an eye on it.
Hot dang.
That will really speed things up for them because...
Oh my god, yes.
As of right now, they can keep making stuff that's already been written. But if the actors are striking, I mean, I guess they could hire actors that aren't in the guild. But... you lose a lot, all the names. I shouldn't say a lot of names. You lose all the names. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of productions that won't even hire people who aren't in SAG.
Right.
Well, like, a funny story. So you know how, again, I bring this up every week since it started. My son and I are hyperfixating into Star Trek right now.
Mm-hmm.
There was a scene in Star Trek 4 where Chekhov and Uhura were walking around San Francisco, and they were looking for the naval base in Alameda for the nuclear vessels.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lady that walked up, and they asked, and she was like, oh, blah, 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 blah. She said something, walked away. That lady had just got her car towed, and she signed on to be an extra, hoping to make enough money to get it out of impound. And I guess she said something. Like, I don't think she was supposed to say something, but she walked up and said something.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them, I think it was Nichelle Nichols, fought to keep that line in, but they had to sign her on to SAG to be able to keep the line in the movie.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So this week in Star Trek trivia.
Which probably also got that lady guild minimums.
Yeah. She got a whole line in a movie, so I mean, I can't imagine that's probably good money just to walk in and say something. She probably got her car out of tow.
Oh yeah, definitely way better than she got just for being the extra.
Right? Yeah, because probably she. Oh well, I mean, it was a big production, production. I remember actually seeing commercials for it, and they were hyping it, and it made a shit ton of money.
Mm-hmm.
So I can imagine that they probably got $20 and a sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
Just the extras.
Yep.
That didn't say anything. But guild minimum, I wonder what she got.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, she probably got a good amount. I would imagine she may even be getting residuals from it.
Like you said,
wouldn't that be crazy?
It would be crazy.
That'd be some shit.
Every once in a while, she gets that check in the mail for a few pennies, and it's just like, man.
Heck yeah. I was in Star Trek. No, even better. I was in Star Trek. I still don't know what that is.
Her grandkid is like talking about how much he likes Star Wars, and she's like, "Oh, I was in one of those movies."
Is it Star Wars movies? Oh yeah, because I bet she's every bit in her 60s now.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, I was little when that came out, so I am no longer a spring chicken, so I can only imagine what this full-grown adult how old this full-grown adult is now.
Right.
Another fun fact: punk guy in that movie that was on the bus and got Falcon nerve pinched because he was playing his music too loud. He was in Werewolf by Night.
Okay.
He was the big burly bearded hunter guy.
Gotcha.
Literally my favorite guy. My favorite guy
work.
in the whole thing.
Still getting work.
Still getting work. Oh wait, no, he was actually just in he was in a Spider-Man movie too, I think.
Live action or animated?
Live action.
So got to be No Way Home, right?
Look, I could be way wrong, but I think it was the first one. And you know the hot dog vendor next to the guy that said do a flip?
Oh, yeah.
I think that was him. I could be wrong though. I'm pretty sure he was in one of them though.
Now here come the fan theories about how Hot Dog Guy is the same person as he was in Werewolf by Night.
Is he not?
No way to tell.
Yeah, I guess we'll never know. That guy's also big and he does puppets and stuff too.
Oh, neat.
Interesting guy. He's an interesting guy. So I know you were dropping in some trailers and stuff.
Yeah, we've seen a couple new trailers. I'm going to be honest, when I was kind of researching for this week's episode, the first thing I did was go back and watch the PlayStation showcase, because the only thing we covered last week was the Spider-Man 2 trailer. And I'm satisfied with our coverage of the PlayStation showcase. I watched the rest of it and I was like, yeah, all right. I know I shouldn't say that, because I know there are things out there that other people are excited about. Sony's releasing a new handheld that you can play your PS5 from the handheld, kind of like a remote play kind of thing. Mm-hmm. It looks like a Switch, except the controllers on the side look like two halves of the PlayStation 5 controller.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Sure.
Then a remake of Snake Eater, Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater is coming out, which I know a lot of people are...
Yeah, I heard about that. I mean, I'm not super psyched about it, but...
I've never been the hugest Metal Gear fan. I stopped after, like, Sons of Liberty, I think. Mm-hmm. They're making a sequel to Journey, which looks neat. And Sony has their own version of Splatoon now, which, if you were going to copy a Nintendo property, that would not be the one I would guess.
Nope, would not have went that direction. Would not have even known that.
But instead of squid shooting paint, it looks like influencers and e-girls shooting foam. And it's called Foam Stars.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm dead serious. That's what it looks like.
Adding it to wish list.
But yeah, I mean, like, that's basically what I got out of the PlayStation showcase. And I was just like, okay, what else is coming out that Sony isn't doing? But Paramount dropped a Mutant Mayhem trailer on us.
Okay.
And it looks awesome. I know a lot of people, you know how the internet is. I know a lot of people are going to complain about this movie. Oh, this isn't my Turtles. No, it's not. It's a new generation's Turtles. Shut the fuck up.
Not only that, it looks good though.
It does.
It's like, if you want your generation of Turtles, why don't you go back to the third Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie? Just go there. Enjoy it. It's still there. Go enjoy it.
Those movies still exist. You can still watch them.
I dare you to try to enjoy it.
But I believe I saw a headline, and I wish I could credit the headline, but the first headline I saw about it was they're putting the teenage back into the Turtles.
Yeah.
And fuck, they are. Like, it is...
Yeah.
They have...
literal teenagers.
Teenager problems.
No. They're literal teenagers doing the voices of the Turtles.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. But not only that, but it's written... The way it's written, they are written as teenagers. Like...
Yeah, gotcha.
A lot of the other times, it's like, oh, they're teenagers. I was like, they don't talk like teenagers. Like, they say cowabunga every once in a while, but, like, they're sure are tackling their problems like adults.
They were 19. They were 19.
Leonardo was in his 30s.
Yeah. Easily.
But these do seem like teenagers. I like the angle of them just figuring out that they're not the only mutants, and the villains are the gang, all the other mutants who just kind of feel not accepted by society. It just looks good. It looks good. The animation looks fantastic, and a lot of care has gone into the voice acting. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, me too. You know what? And I'm going to say this too. I haven't seen, and yes, I'm including the bad ones. I haven't seen a bad Turtles. I haven't. Yeah, some of it gets a little silly. Some of it, like the live action stuff. But man, you got to put that into perspective when those things came out.
Yeah.
I mean, it would not hold up today, obviously, but you know what? I don't think the first one would either. The second one definitely wouldn't, but it's still a fun-ass movie.
I'll agree to disagree because the first Michael Bay Turtles exists.
Man, I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. The second one was better.
The second one I enjoyed. I was like, I almost didn't watch it because of how much I didn't like the first one. And then I watched it and I was like, man, I'm glad I watched that. That was fan service from beginning to end.
Yes, it was. I watched the second one because I didn't hate the first one, and I'm glad I watched it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad we didn't get the Turtles and Transformers crossover that it was leading up to, apparently.
Oh, God.
But
yeah,
also,
I wasn't a fan of Turtles 3. The one you were just referencing, and I wasn't a fan of the first Michael Bay Turtles.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't go as far as to call those ones good, but everyone is entitled to their own opinions.
Mm-hmm. And now, I want you to say, I didn't say they were good. I said I haven't seen a bad Turtles.
Okay. I would go as far as to call those bad.
Nice. A little break to do a little flashback. We're talking about punk rock guy in Star Trek 4.
Mm-hmm.
So not only was he punk rock guy in Star Trek 4, but he was also punk rock guy in Star Trek Picard in one of the episodes. They brought him back.
That's great.
They brought him back. I thought that was fucking awesome. Also, he is huge. He's done so much in Trek. So much in Trek. Like, he designed some of the monster stuff in Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock. He did some prop making and sculpting on Star Trek 2. What else? He did the voice of the Vulcan computer.
Do you have his name in front of you?
Yeah, it's Kirk Thatcher.
There we go.
Yeah.
Throw this man some credit.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Kirk Thatcher. And also, I'm sorry, the do a flip guy was the hot dog vendor. He was the guy with the boombox behind him.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. Which is funny because that's what his character was in Star Trek, was the dude with the boombox.
It's just in his contract now anytime he's in a movie. Like, I gotta have a boombox.
Absolutely.
And I imagine for Spider-Man, they were like, people don't carry boomboxes anymore. And he was like, it's in my contract.
Sorry.
You gotta do it.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you really, really want a staple in, like, some geek culture, please look this guy up. He has contributed so fucking much to a lot of the geek stuff that we love, including the Muppets.
What a legend.
Yeah. It's crazy. Oh, wait, you know what? I think he did have a boombox in Werewolf by Night.
Yep.
But yeah, seriously, go look him up. He's on Twitter. But yeah, so we were just agreeing that there was never a bad Turtles.
Mm-hmm.
And
except the ones that were bad.
No, I don't remember that part. But yeah, so, and I also, and I've said this before, they're definitely leaning hard into that Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse kind of look. But I'm also kind of okay with that.
There are definitely similarities between the two animation styles. Mm-hmm. I love the differences, though. Like, Spider-Man Spider-Verse looks like an animated comic book.
Yes.
From the dots to the mismatched layers. There's definitely a loose feel kind of to the animation of the new Turtles, but like it doesn't look like a comic book. It almost looks like, I don't know, it almost looks stop motion-y.
I was going to say that, especially on the scene where they were talking to April.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely looked kind of like Coraline, There was
Both of them definitely have street art influences from beginning to end.
Absolutely.
Which that's a lot of where the similarity is. A lot of the loose animation, a lot of the kind of jagged edges some places and loose edges elsewhere. But
Absolutely.
I can appreciate the differences in the work that the animators put into, like, they're not copying Spider-Man. They're definitely doing their own thing, but you can tell they pulled from a lot of the same influences.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm looking at the artwork right now.
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to say I'm not going to enjoy this. I'm going to fucking love this. And again, thanks to Seth Rogen for really diving headfirst into geek culture and bringing this gem to us as well. But I would really love to see them do a adult Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles where it's just ultra violent and, you know, like kind of like how the original
based off the
comic
Eastman and
was.
Laird stuff, or even a Last Ronin. I mean, honestly,
I think Last Ronin's going to get something.
The book was just re-released.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, they just did a big re-release. Books A Million actually had a variant cover for it, and I pre-ordered it. So, like, I'm just waiting for that to come in. Then we got the video game for Last Ronin, currently being worked on. If both of those get big sales, a movie or TV show is inevitable.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's going to be crazy to see, too. Because there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be like, oh, I want to take my kid. And it's like, really don't. Really don't.
Yeah.
Really don't.
Look at the rating. I know you're not gonna, but look at the rating.
Yeah.
The same thing happened with Deadpool. Deadpool was like, Ryan was like, do not take your kids to see Deadpool. It's rated R. And then a bunch of parents took their kids to see Deadpool. And then, like, we're running out of the theater within, like, the first 10 minutes.
Yep. I think, I actually think, too, that, I mean, because, like, they could be like, oh, we'll make it PG-13 so that blah, 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 blah. I think it would behoove them to just hit that hard rated R. Because even if it's a PG-13, people are going to be taking their kids in there like, oh, this isn't the Turtles. They're dead. Turtles don't die. It's like, okay, just go the hard rated R so we don't have to field questions like that. Just
exactly.
And we will, but then we'll be like, it was rated R, my dude. Why are you... I don't even see how you're surprised right now.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think Seth Rogen should make that happen too.
Yeah. Yeah, get your boys on it, Seth.
Do it. Do it.
You know what? Get ahead of it now, because if you wait until that book and you wait until that video game sell well, it's going to be much more expensive to get your hands on a good script or whatever rights you're going to have to get a hold of for... Yeah.
Yep.
So get on it now.
That's right. Also, just random thought, just because we're talking about, directors and people bringing movies to, the forefront, blah, blah, blah. I have a movie that I want James Gunn to do.
Okay.
Masters of the Universe.
Okay. Who's got the rights to that right now? I mean, does Netflix have the rights to that, or is that a company making it for Netflix?
Well, it can't be just Netflix, I don't think. Maybe it is. Because I knew there was 2 different Masters of the Universe properties coming out at that time. And they did. Warner Brothers.
Okay.
Oh! And James Gunn is working for DC. Oh, James Gunn, do it. Do it, James Gunn.
We're calling you out.
I think he'd kill it.
All right. We don't have too many calls to action here at Casters Guild, but I'm going to make one right now. Guildies, get on Twitter, @JamesGunn, make Masters of the Universe the movie.
Okay. Yep. Do it. Excuse me.
I need to apologize. We're like 40 some minutes into this episode, and I know why we didn't do it, because when we're recording this, it's not June yet. But by the time this episode releases, it will be June. So happy Pride, everybody.
Happy Pride. I actually get to go to my first Pride this year.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I think ever since I really came out, I've been working on Saturdays.
Oh, okay.
And that's the only time they ever do Pride, apparently, is on Saturday.
That's fair.
So, yeah. So this year, because of the way my schedule is going to be, I'm going to be able to do Pride this year.
I'm not sure how big Pride is going to be, where I'm at with the laws and the way people are acting in Tennessee, I feel like a lot of hate crimes might happen. Which on one hand makes me just want to go, nope, I'm not going to go participate in Pride. But on another hand makes me go, well, I have to go participate in Pride because what if there's something that I can help with and I'm not there?
Yep. I would say I would feel this much the same way, but it would definitely be something that I wouldn't take the Spawn to.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's like, I get it. It shouldn't be like that, but it be like that. Mm-hmm. And I'm not going to put my kid on the front lines. I'll put myself on the front lines, but exactly. I'm not putting my kid on the front lines.
Mm-hmm.
I have very strong opinions about that I'll just go ahead and keep to myself for right now. But
yeah,
I will leave it at my kid will never be on the front lines of a protest or possible inflammatory things until he's much older and can make that decision for himself.
Exactly.
And in that time, we'll be lobbing water bottles together.
Yeah. And now that I'm no longer in the military, I think being on the front lines of Pride in Tennessee might be my greatest chances of entering Valhalla.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
yeah. I was wrong. Sony has it.
Sony has Masters of the Universe?
Yeah, Warner Brothers had it, and then Sony snatched it up in 2009.
I don't like Sony as a production company right now, and mostly just because they don't ever make anything available for streaming. You have to buy everything. Like, they don't make a deal with any of the streaming services. Like, if I want to watch any of the Spider-Man movies, I either got to catch it during a very limited run on streaming, or I got to buy it from Sony. But I don't know. Sony could still get a hold of James Gunn. Why not?
On January 20, via Wikipedia, on January 28th, 2022, it was announced that Netflix had officially acquired the film from Sony. So you were right, apparently.
So Netflix does have it. So Warner Brothers had it, then Sony had it, and now Netflix does have it.
Yep. Kyle Allen would now play He-Man. It was also revealed that David Callahan had written a new draft of the screenplay along with the Nee brothers, while production was set to begin in 2023.
There we go.
I mean, except for...
Doesn't have James Gunn attached.
Well, and the strike.
Yeah, there is that. If it's already written, though. But if the actors strike, oh, man. So once again, we're sad we were not going to get our stuff, but we do support the strike. Pay your people.
Right.
Like, when we say that we're upset we're not going to get these new properties, we're not upset at the writers or the actors.
Not at all, no.
We're upset at the studios who aren't paying them. That's who we're upset at.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not even, I mean, yes, pay, important, but we're upset at the studios who are trying to replace our actors with AI.
Yeah, because you don't want to pay the writer.
Right.
Pay them to write your shit.
Yeah.
Look, the American film industry invented the writer's room, and it's been the best thing the entertainment industry has ever invented. Like, don't kill it. Please don't. But you know who'll keep you snazzy on those guild strike lines?
Who's that?
T-Villain. T-Villain is a t-shirt site where you'll find a killer limited edition shirt being sold for $13 only while supplies last. Every Monday, the site features a new design by a new artist. We would tell you what's featured right now, but by the time you hear this, it's already changed.
They choose the most ingenious designs that reflect everything evil and villainy, as well as works pertaining to anything artistic, pulp style, lowbrow, pop culture, TV, movies, music, video games, comics, etc. All things cool and evil, basically. To check them out and help Casters Guild, click our link in the description.
But regardless, a lot of other cool stuff is coming out. A couple other things that I kind of dropped in the things to talk about. We got a trailer a little while ago for the new Haunted Mansion movie. And
right.
I'm surprised at the amount of horror that it's actually leaning into.
Mm-hmm. The first one I saw, it definitely was leaning into a bit of scary territory.
Mm-hmm.
Like creepy kind of stuff. So yeah. I think that's been a thing, though. Like, a lot of properties have been trying to ramp up the horror in their franchises. I mean, even Evil Dead, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
Evil Dead, we remember what Evil Dead was, and now it's what it is now. It's gory and horrifying, and not honestly, not something I can watch and enjoy.
Okay.
I'm not talking about Haunted Mansion, I'm talking about Evil Dead.
Right.
Yeah, okay. I just want to be clear.
Yeah, Haunted Mansion doesn't
though?
look like it's hit that level of horror.
No.
No,
Oh, God,
it's
can
still
you imagine?
it's still more goofy horror movie, but it's not shying away from, some big scares.
Right. And it's bringing our boy Owen Wilson.
Yep.
I'm glad to see that he's doing more stuff now.
Yeah.
With everything that's happened in his life and stuff.
Saw Danny DeVito in that trailer.
Yep. Danny DeVito, I think, hit a certain point in his life and stopped aging.
Yeah.
I mean, it kind of had to suck for it to have happened at 66, but I bet he wishes it would have happened in his 30s or something. But
right. He's like, damn, why couldn't I have stopped aging at Taxi?
Right. Oh, God. Go back and look at that man in Taxi. He's like a completely different man.
Oh, yeah. If I didn't know better and you showed me the two pictures.
Well, I mean, same goes for Christopher Lloyd.
Oh, too true.
Yeah.
Too true.
Because Christopher Lloyd was in that, too.
Yeah.
I mean, Tony Danza's Tony Danza.
Yeah.
He was in that, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, he was in that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I might have to go back and watch some of those.
I will say, people were saying Paul Rudd doesn't age, and I finally got around to seeing Quantumania now that it's streaming on Disney Plus, and that man ages. that man, if you watch Quantumania.
Now, we're not saying he looks old, but
no,
I mean he definitely looks.
Yeah,
he definitely looks older than he did in Clueless.
Yeah, he no longer looks ageless.
Right.
All right, not a movie, but we were just talking about Pride not that long ago, and Marvel is debuting a gay Spider-Man.
Sweet.
Hello, Guild Master Ric here with a quick correction. The article I was reading actually came out last year, so Web Weaver has actually been out for a while, but still think it's relevant to talk about him because of Pride. So happy Pride, everybody.
I saw that. I didn't get to read the article on it.
Okay, I'll pull it up right now.
Mm-hmm.
And let's go ahead and give credit where credit is due. This article...
Look at that Victorian collar.
This article is on them.us, and the writer is Samantha Rydell.
Okay, and you know what? I'm sorry. Let me cut you off here.
Mm-hmm.
This Spider-Man so far looks fabulous. If anybody out there has anything bad to say about this at all, it better be Craven, because he looks ridiculous. That's the bad thing I have about this. He looks ridiculous.
Yeah, Craven. I'm interested to know what's going on here, because Craven is wearing the Spider-Man red and blue with the webs and has spider legs coming off of his back. So, is Craven a Spider-Man in this comic? I don't know. But this is, by the way, Edge of Spider-Verse. I believe it's number 5. Yeah, coming out in September. Will show Web Weaver is the name of this Spider-Man.
So this is like an alternate universe Spider-Man?
Yeah, this is all from Spider-Verse. So yeah, it's Web Weaver. Marvel themselves describe the character as a not-so-mild-mannered fashion designer at Van Dyne Industries, which Janet Van Dyne, the Wasp.
Yeah.
And then the designer gets spider powers and becomes Web Weaver, which you got to know that's why they have such a great costume, because they're a fashion designer.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it looks good. I don't see how practical those sleeves are, but maybe there's something to do with it in the powers and stuff. But I mean, we're also talking about a whole comic book industry that made tons of money off of a boob window, so which is cannot be functional at all.
So yeah, according to this, in this Edge of the Spider-Verse number 5, 3 brand new spiders will get their start in this issue. We've got Web Weaver, the one that the gay Spider-Man we see here. We got Hunter Spider, which
That has to be the Kraven.
Sergei Kravinoff got spider powers. Both of these and Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, the filmmakers behind the Spider-Verse movies, create a new spider just in time for the end of the Spider-Verse, which we don't know who that third one is, but they kind of give a little description there.
Okay.
But seriously, if you're listening to this and you haven't seen the design for Webweaver, please look it up. It looks awesome.
It looks good. It kind of... Who does this remind me of, though? There is, if I'm not mistaken, an alternate Spider-Man. No. God dang it.
Steve Fox, by the way, one of the creators of the comic book, quoted, "Something I realized immediately when conceiving Webweaver is that he can't and shouldn't represent all gay men. No single character can. His fearlessly femme identity is central to who he is, but is not the story," which is fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah, I will say that I have not kept up with comics at all. It used to be easy. I will say this. When I was younger, it was way easier to keep up with.
Sure.
But, boy, they are just, like, mass-producing every title. So it's like there are, like, 100 different titles that Marvel releases in a month, and a lot of them are, you know, riding on another one to be able to give you the whole story, and it's like, no, I can't do this. Sorry.
The industry is way bigger than it once was.
Mm-hmm.
Which is crazy, because a lot of people, with the invention of the internet and all of that, they predicted the death of comic books.
Mm-hmm.
And no. As a matter of fact, they're thriving.
Yeah, I wonder how much, you know, their people are getting paid. But
right.
I mean, a lot of the artists are not getting compensated the way they should. Like, especially like the artists that have had images that they have made ripped off directly to put into movies.
Yeah, that's true.
Looking at you, Thor, Love and Thunder.
But I'm sure there'll be plenty of people angry about Webweaver.
Of course.
But speaking of that sweet, sweet nerd rage that we all love so much, I'm sure you're gonna love following the hashtag that inevitably comes from this one as well. The live action How to Train Your Dragon movie has casted Hiccup and Astrid, and that is going to be Mason Thames and Nico Parker, respectively. And I cannot wait to see how angry people are that a black girl is playing Astrid.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially those Brosatru guys out there.
Mm-hmm.
Cannot wait. Oh, Viking girl can't be a black girl. Mm-hmm. Sure, why not? Why can't she?
Mm-hmm.
Why can't she?
Yeah, it's not like this is... First of all, even if it were historically accurate, there are arguments to be made. But it's not, first of all. It's fantasy. It's not Iceland or anywhere Nordic. It's a place called Berk that doesn't exist. There are dragons there. People can be whatever color they want. They could cast a purple person for all I care.
Yep, absolutely. And, you know, it does, actually, now that I think about it, two things. One, were there any black people in the cartoon? Were there any people of color in the cartoon at all?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Mm-mm.
Number two, a person of color did do Astrid's voice, though.
I did not know that.
Yep. America Ferrera.
Now I feel bad for not knowing that was America Ferrera. I love America Ferrera.
I think that was the movie. I know they did a TV show.
Yeah, they did a couple TV shows actually.
But I think she did the movie voice.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, fun stuff. Oh
yeah,
my God, there's actually a lot of people I didn't notice were in this movie.
But the same director who wrote and directed the animated versions will be writing and directing the live action version. So nothing to worry about there. If you're a fan, same people are in charge. Should be really cool, and we should see some more cool Toothless merch come out.
Yeah, as it will happen.
Mm-hmm. I know I'll be looking for it. I have a ton of Toothless stuff in my house, and I don't see that stopping anytime soon.
Yeah, I haven't kept up on stuff like that, like the merch and stuff, spending all my stuff on games. So And the kiddo was never really huge into it. I think he got one toothless plushie, and then just never wanted anything else after that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I think around the height of How to Train Your Dragon popularity, we did a count, and there were like over 20 toothlesses in my house.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, I don't know why I didn't even think about this. So, last night, Critical Role did their Legend of Zelda.
I didn't see it because as you pointed out, it was going to go way past my bedtime.
Oh yeah. And it's 5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So it is I'm like an hour in, and like I was trying to watch it at work, and it's like I'm an hour in, I'm taking calls. I'm like, man, if this was Dimension 20, it'd be over by now.
True.
Speaking of Dimension 20, the cast is obviously the voice of Ganon is doing the game mastering.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the guy that does the voice of Ganon, whoever that is. I'm sorry, Ganondorf. I'm sorry. But Emily Axford is one of the cast members of this one, who, if you know Dimension 20 at all, you know, she's one of the intrepid heroes.
Mm-hmm.
Omar Najam is, he was just in the Dimension 20, the fairies. Oh, I can't even remember. The Court of...
Yeah.
Yeah, the fairy one. He was in the fairy one. It was great, actually. Robbie Damon. Robbie Damon. Is it Robbie Damon? I thought it was Robbie Raymond. Oh, man, Robbie, I've been doing you wrong this whole time. It is Robbie Damon. Oh, no. I'm sorry, Robbie. Promise you, as I've been saying it Damon this whole time.
We're just geeks who are used to alliterated names. Forgive us.
Yeah, that's fair. And then Marisha Ray.
Gotcha.
Robbie Damon was actually at Anime Central.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I got to walk by and see him through through the unwashed masses. It's funny how that applies.
Yeah.
Like, not a lot of people say unwashed masses anymore until they go to a con.
Yeah. And then there they are.
There they are. Which, by the way, good luck with that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Especially
you're
working
not gonna be able to...
them 8-hour shifts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You're not going to be able to get away.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I'm going to have to be right there. I'm going to be leaning over these people and helping them fill out their character sheets. And yeah.
Yeah. Man, that's going to be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Going to be fun. But yeah, so I watched a little bit of it. They are using the Powered by the Apocalypse system.
Oh, cool.
A modified version of it.
Sure.
And I'm not 100% sure, but I think Nintendo helped with it, or a branch of Nintendo helped with it.
Had to have. Like, Nintendo doesn't allow anything to come out that their fingers aren't, like, 100% in. Not ever since the Mario movie.
Right.
The first one.
Well, I mean, since Wreck-It Ralph.
Well, I mean, Wreck-It Ralph is just an example of it. But, like, the live-action Mario movie that came out way, way long ago, ever since the...
Oh, I'm sorry. I misunderstood what you said. You said live-action Mario movie. Yes.
Ever since that movie, Nintendo has been super protective of their properties, to the point where they will tell the animators from Wreck-It Ralph how Bowser drinks his tea.
Yep. Good for them, though.
Yeah. So there's no way they let them have a whole Zelda game without having some sort of influence in it.
Yeah, I just really wish I could remember who they said. Yeah, I'm really wishing I could remember who they said it was. Give me a second, I'll see if I can find it.
Mm-hmm.
No, they don't mention it in the write-up.
That's all right. I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure somebody was involved.
Yeah.
I'm honestly surprised that somebody from Nintendo wasn't one of the players themselves.
Yeah, that's very true.
You know what? It's something Reggie Fils-Aimé would have done, but it's not a Doug Bowser move. So Reggie would have been in there like, my body is ready. But Doug Bowser is not that guy.
No. Nope. I will say this. I'm looking on Bloomberg, and they're very clearly saying that Nintendo is teaming up with Critical Role to do this. So, yeah. I wonder if this is something that it had to have been. Like, Matt Mercer was doing the voice Ganondorf, and he was like, you know what we could do? This is what we could do.
Either
and they were
that,
probably like,
or while he was voicing like the idea for a game just like entered his head, and he was just like, I have to run this. I wonder if I could get paid.
oh, you know they're probably getting paid a sum.
Well, my point is, like, Matt would have run it either way. It's just, he was wondering if he could run it on camera and get paid for it.
Right, yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's pretty good. I like some of the things that they put into it. They added, like, a stamina system.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it costs stamina to do this. It costs stamina to... Like, he was saying, like, there was a part in there where someone attacked, and they were like, can I attack again? And like, do you have stamina? Yeah. Well, yeah. As long as you have stamina, you can attack.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wow. So yeah, that might be. I really, 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 really hope that we get some kind of write-up for this game, especially since it's powered by the apocalypse and not D&D.
Mm-hmm.
You know. Now, I'm pretty sure I could watch the game and recreate it.
Sure.
I could probably just recreate it. Character creation might be a little weird, but yeah.
But it'd be a lot easier if we got like a supplement, like a nice little PDF.
Fuck yeah. Yep. I don't want to mess with it. Please just give me a supplement.
Look, it doesn't have to be a whole book. Like, you can go, hey, in order to run this game, you're going to need to get the apocalypse system first, and we're only telling you the ways to modify it. That's fine. But Zelda fans will eat that shit up.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, and also, I mean, I hate to say it, as a new and budding fan of Powered by the Apocalypse, I'm ready to eat it up.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
It's a perfect storm. I mean, like, you got people... Okay, Tears of the Kingdom just came out. It's got to be the biggest game in the world right now. Well, by the time this comes out, Diablo 4 will be out. So maybe it's not the biggest game in the world anymore. But
that's fair.
Tears of the Kingdom,
who knows?
Biggest game in the world right now. Then you've got this mass exodus from D&D and all these people looking for a new system to play their games. How many of those people, the moment they hear Zelda RPG, will be like, yep, that one?
Yeah, I mean, 100%. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Which actually also brings up another question. I wonder how Wizards of the Coast felt about this. I wonder how Wizards of the Coast is feeling about this whole Critical Role shift that's happening.
I didn't read it, but I recently saw a couple headlines for articles that were like how Wizards is going to replace Critical Role. Because Critical Role isn't going to keep supporting them.
Nope. And again, I'm pretty sure we did a whole podcast on how Critical Role saved D&D.
Mm-hmm.
Or something like that. Go back and listen to it.
Yeah.
But we did a whole episode, and I stand by it. I stand by, at the very least, Critical Role stepped up and popularized 5th edition, which made them all the money that they're making now.
The only thing I can think of, like, Wizards' only hope, and it's not going to work, it's their only hope, and I still don't think it'll work, is they'll have to pouring a whole lot more money into Acquisitions Incorporated.
They'd have to.
Because that's actually run by Jeremy Crawford at this point. Because Chris Perkins handed it off to Jeremy Crawford.
Right.
So he's not going to run a different system, obviously. So if Penny Arcade is going to continue with Acquisitions Incorporated, it's still going to be with D&D.
I just don't... And this is no offense to those guys at all. At all.
Mm-mm.
I just don't think that they have the quote-unquote star power that's going to keep this ball rolling.
They don't, especially not anymore. They have had some star power behind it before, back when they had Will Wheaton.
I'm talking about just them themselves. Like Critical Role, they are stars themselves now.
Yeah.
In the industry.
Yes.
But I mean, okay, to be fair, I guess they did get started by Felicia Day. I not a fan of hers, but I gotta give credit where credit's due.
Of course.
She definitely got that ball fucking rolling for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And that was star power right there. So I guess they stepped in with some star power.
Right.
So like fans of Geek and Sundry at the time, which was a big deal at the time, got introduced to that. It got put in front of their faces, and it just went to town.
And it definitely can't be 100% attributed to this, but they were all voice actors with a following. They did have fans. And I'm sure there are quite a few fans who jumped on board because of that, but it definitely was not the cause of the big numbers.
No. I mean, let's face it. The number of people who watch anime, and even now after it's gotten more popular, it's probably pretty low. The number of people who do watch anime who know the names of the people who do these voices, even lower. Those people who know the names of the people who do the voices and follow them like fans, even lower.
Yeah.
So, and again, I'm not shitting on voice actors. I love them, but they don't have a lot of star power.
No.
I keep using that word, but you know what I mean.
I do. So,
point being, I don't think Wizards of the Coast has it.
No.
They may set up with Joe Mangled last name.
We always mess up his name. Joe Mangiello.
Mangiello?
That's what I'm going with.
Mangiello. Which, that man is far from Jello. Anyways, they may lean into him, I think. It seems like they've been leaning into him a little bit lately. So I'm wondering if maybe they'll like lean on him and be like, okay, let's fucking do this.
You don't think Critical Role will poach him or something with one of their new systems?
No. He's been really leaning into like they're talking about doing that Dragonlance TV show, and they're talking about giving.
When they made his character canon, I think they got him for life.
Yeah. Yep. So I think that I can guarantee you that there will be crossovers, like, you know, people who are in Joe's game, even Joe will go over to Critical Role. And I bet Critical Role people will go over there because that's just the nature of things.
Right.
But I think that they're going to, okay, this is what I would do if I was Wizard of the Coast.
I'd lower the prices of my books. I'd say sorry for everything that's going on. Like,
I'd fire the Pinkertons, you know, do all that. I would hire Joe. I would put him into contract, and I would do a show in his basement.
Gotta be.
In his game room.
Gotta be.
Right? And I would be like,
the only problem with that is, if you've ever seen his game room, it's like, where is the room for the equipment? Where is the room for the cameras and the mics? And
well, then, quote unquote, his game room.
Reproduce it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then just be like, look, man, your game troupe, the people who are in your game, we'll fucking pay them. Have them come in and do this thing. Now, granted, half the people they won't be able to afford.
Right.
Because there's some big fucking names in his game.
Oh, yeah.
But maybe see, this is what I think. They should just call it like Joe's home game, and it's not really Joe's home game. You know, it is him, a couple people, and then a rotating cast of famous people.
Like, what's that show they did on Geek and Sunder for a while? Relics and Reliquaries?
Was that? I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was a D&D game that had a different guest star like every week, and it was always like a celebrity or something like that. Like Kevin Smith played one week.
Okay.
So, and I loved that show back when Geek and Sundry was a thing.
So yeah, something like that then. It'd be perfect. They do something like that. They could even, I don't know. I think that they should cherry pick their group, let Joe run it, have actual celebrity guests come on. Again, no offense, voice actors. God's sakes, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But, you know, bring in fucking Vince Vaughn to come in and play. You know? Bring in
Colbert. Colbert already is ready to do it. We know that.
Yeah. So yeah, and just that alone, I think, would be cool enough for them to take off. Now,
get Matthew Lillard and Beetle and Bards, or Beetle and Bairds, or whatever the company he works with is called, and he can use that show to show off some of the cool stuff you can get through them.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Wizards of the Coast, if you use any of these ideas, You're welcome to it, and I don't even need to be paid. I only have one request. Quit being douchebags. Lower your prices. Leave your fans alone.
Mm-hmm.
If you fuck up and give someone early release shit, consider it free advertising and go for it. Just leave it alone. Quit being douchebags. That's my only request.
Mm-hmm.
So now, when they don't do the show, it's because they didn't want to agree to it.
Yep, that's what
we
it
know
is.
that.
That's
we know that.
They're like that's a price that's too steep. It's
Too
funny
steep.
how from the beginning of this podcast we've gone from, oh, Wizards, you can steal my idea, just put me on the show, to I don't care if you put me on the show, just quit being douchebags.
I mean, seriously.
Just stop being dicks.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
That's all we want. Oh man. But with that, I think that's gonna be it for this episode.
It is that time, isn't it?
Yeah. just I think a perfect place to end it is on Wizards stop being dicks.
I didn't even get to talk about all that other stuff. I guess you'll have to come in next week.
And next week.
Dang.
Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Casters Guild. Email us at castersguild@gmail.com. Please come check out our Discord. It's where all the coolest stuff is happening, and we're probably going to post a picture of Webweaver so you can see that cool-ass fucking suit.
Hell yeah.
And we will see you in the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
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 Happy Pride.
Yes, happy Pride. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Casters Guild. I am your Guild Master, Rick, the Pinball Wizard Perry.
And I am your Guild Master, Baron. Hold on. Give me a second, because I was just going to be like, the Wizard. Because that's another video
movie.
movie.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready? And I'm your Guild Master, Baron, the Last Starfighter Kane.